Welcome to Video Battlethon 45 of the John Sue and Michael Rosmer Gary Vaynerchuk inspired Battlethon. Today's video topic is called When Your Strengths Become Your Weaknesses and When Your Weaknesses Become Your Strengths. You're probably wondering, what the hell are you talking about? How does a strength become a weakness and a weakness become a strength? So I'm going to ask you this question, and I think this is very applicable to a lot of people who are going through change and transformation in their life. Has there ever been a part of your life where you were really successful, where you were really great at doing something and that took you to a certain level in your life? But then all of a sudden, your life has plateaued. And you want to take it to the next level, but for some reason, you just keep banging your head on this roof or just kind of staying the same and nothing's really changing. That's a situation of when your greatest strength has turned into your greatest weakness. Because what happens is, when you highly rely on certain strengths, those certain strengths will get you to a certain level, but those same exact strengths will keep you within this certain range. So say, for example, somebody who is really good at hockey, that will take you, if you're playing in a certain league, say the community league, that will take you to a certain level of hockey. But when things get serious, you have to go to the next level by hiring a coach, right? But without that coach and just your pure natural skills, you will only be so good, right? So now it's your strengths of being such a natural player and your strengths of self-confidence that you're like, oh, I don't need anyone or whatever. So it keeps the roof of your potential limited, right? And another example of when your weakness turns into your strength. My biggest weakness in real estate, I have to say, is paperwork. I hate paperwork. The only paperwork I like to do is called counting. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100. The rest of that calculus BS, I don't need it. But going back to that weakness, where that weakness is pretty much your rock bottom, right? So it's kind of like the floor of your potential. It's a weird thing, and I'm going really abstract here, but when you overcome your weaknesses, you actually simultaneously push up the potential of your maximum. So my weakness used to be paperwork, where it was just very boring details. There's mistakes on my paperwork. But once I took that head on of learning how to do paperwork properly, the biggest benefit I got out of that, and what really took things to the next level for my business, is that when you become really good at paperwork, it helps you focus on smaller details. And it helps you see things that you would normally miss when you're so busy doing things and getting things done, right? You have a micro perspective on the macro effect, especially when you're running a business. When you're running a business, there's a million juggling plates, and beyond the juggling plates of, the macro thing of seeing plates being balanced, there's a lot of smaller details, like the momentum and velocity of things moving and spinning, right? Keeping things going, the details of customer service, the details of negotiating deals, the details of scheduling, making the business run smoothly, right? So that was my greatest weakness, and I knew to expand the business and to do more, I had to overcome the weakness of paperwork. So yeah, that's my example about how strengths turn into weaknesses and weaknesses turns into strengths. But taking it a level deeper is the strengths and the weaknesses are two parts of the same coin, where it's a circling back and forth, right? And it's until you master the strength and the weakness, or you've not mastered, experienced the strength and the weaknesses of certain skills, you will always be held, how would I say, prisoner to certain potential, certain potential ranges. But once you've experienced the strengths and weaknesses of the skill, both sides, you actually, how would you say, rise up in potential exponentially. Because you no longer rely on your strengths as a crutch, or how would you say, held prisoner by your weaknesses, because you understand that every skill has a strength and weakness component to it, and it becomes more of a tool that you can use in both situations, rather than the only tool that you use and the only tool that you don't use, right? Your skill set becomes universal. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on strengths becoming weaknesses and weaknesses becoming strengths.